What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome to Malt Reviews. I'm Mike. With me, as always, my partner in crime is Narby. Today, we're going to be reviewing from the Pappy Van Winkle collection, Van Winkle Family Reserve, the Rye, 13-year-old.
I realize you guys, when I rewatch the videos, I realize you guys can't even see when I go like this, but this one is 47.8%. I see another drop in here. Let's make sure we're getting full value out of this bad boy.
Drop it out, baby.
It is another sample. We just got a bunch more samples from Master of Malt, and we have to review them when we're drinking them. Again, we do want to go back to doing full bottles, but we're having so many. We're not buying as many full bottles right now. Concentrating more on the samples. So, and we want to try them. It's hard to just put them to the side and not try them. So we're reviewing a lot of these right now. You're going to see a whole bunch of them again coming through. Don't worry, we'll bring big full bottles as well. This is the Pappy Van Winkle Rye, 13-year-old, and just so many people that we talk to that we're not necessarily bourbon collectors, we're Scotch whiskey collectors, but so many people have told us that this is one of their favorites, and it's better than the Pappy 20 and the 23 and the 15. So, and us in general, we tend to like the rye style a little bit better. It tends to be less sweet, less of that pancake syrupy corniness. So, excited to try this. It's been breeding for about 15 minutes. It's got this beautiful golden dark color, which pretty much all bourbons do. And on the nose.
Beautiful color.
Right away, you could tell that it's not overly sweet on the nose. You're getting cereal notes, and you're actually getting, you know, some of that, even some rye bread. You could tell it's a rye whiskey, right? It's like rye bread and cereal.
Hella pumpernickel.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Yeah.
And it's got honey and brown sugar. All in a very juicy, luscious way. It's a treat on the nose right away.
I'm getting like crazy. This is interesting. I'm getting crazy, like really dark, like coated, juicy, luscious, like olive tapenade, like crazy, but sweet Italian olives. It's pretty interesting.
Even some elements of cola. Some light hints of oak, cinnamon, ever so lightly spicy. That's that oak spice, that cinnamon. It's creamy. It's almost like vanilla ice cream.
That is interesting.
Yeah, and I keep revisiting back to the sugar-coated cereals and that sweet bread, almost like a rye bread with butter and honey on it.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's kind of like that little spice or almost bitterness of a really good rye bread, but with a little bit of like sweet butter and honey on it from the aging element. It's really interesting.
It's even experiencing some fruitiness to it,
yeah,
even as well.
Oh yeah. I think it's a really good strength there at 47.8%. Because a lot of times these older cask strength bourbons, because they're not that old compared to Scotch, maybe 10 years, 13 years, 15 years, a lot of times they're too strong. They're 55%, 60%, and the alcohol element is mind-blowing. But that's what's really refreshing about this. 47.8%, you can get everything out of it.
It's very oily. It's think orange oil and vanilla oil, and
totally.
Almost like when you squeeze an orange peel and those oils get left on your fingers, and then when you smell your fingers, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, like deep, rich lasting oil.
Even even with some honeydew melon, which is kind of going back to that honey, which is kind of very sweet and fruity as well. And even some hints of some very sweet pink grapefruit.
Wow, yeah, definitely
It's treat.
developing now.
I like it.
Fruit elements.
I like it.
Honeydew, the cantaloupe,
Yeah.
melon, absolutely. Wow.
All, and then coming back to that brown sugar. Sweetness on the palate. It's drinking like something around 48 to 50%. It's also drinking similar to what you would think for its age, around 13 years old. I'm getting some slight alcoholic flavors on the palate, but pretty much all that stuff that we got on the nose is revisiting the palate. It's drying in an enjoyable way in terms of the wood. It's not overly in any way. A lot of that brown sugar, a lot of that honey. The sweet orange oils are more like bitter orange peel now. That sweet grapefruit is a little bit more bitter. So in terms of everything was very luscious on the nose. It's very enjoyable on the palate, but it's slightly more on the bitter end. And for us, it's not an issue at all. Very, very, very enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm getting very similar to what I got in the nose. I'm getting very heavy elements of the peppery, spicy, kind of crackeriness, ryeness, which I love.
Spicy pepper for
rye
sure.
whiskey. Yeah.
Like underneath my tongue, yeah.
Exactly, right where you want it. So I'm getting that almost more than the nose, which is awesome. I'm getting maybe a little less fruit, but I'm very clearly getting all the same fruit flavors, which is very nice. I'm getting the melon, the honeydew, the cantaloupe. I'm getting a little bit of light apricot and peach, a little bit of light sweet pink grapefruit, which is very refreshing, very sweet and luscious.
Second sip on the palate. Instant release of maple syrup this time. Honey syrup. Orange peel, some wood elements with some bitter chocolate, dark chocolate, caramel and brown sugar. More juicy on the palate on the second turn, which is expected, especially with stuff that's high strength in alcohol. Bitter grapefruit in an enjoyable way. That pepper you were talking about. Very, very enjoyable. A little bit more complex on the nose than it is on the palate. That's usually the case with most good whiskeys.
True.
The finish lingers with wood spice, caramel, brown sugar.
So I think I'm getting, from the sounds of it, I'm not getting as much the maple syrup. I'm getting more like the spicy, peppery, crackery.
That's what's left
rye
in my mouth. But
which
that's
I love.
for the second sip. That initial hit was got that maple syrup for about 10 seconds, and it went away.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's not in an offensive way in any way, but definitely got some maple for sure in there, even though it's the rye. The one thing I will say, the nose has more of those sweet cereally elements. And the bread on the palate, it's almost like more toasted, approaching burnt bread.
Got it.
Which is I usually ask for my toast to be double toasted anyway, so I kind of like it kind of
Right.
crispy and burnt. So enjoyable like that. It's almost like a little ashy in the mouth, but very, very nice. Kind of like it's not peated, but almost like a peated whiskey where it's kind of
Right.
ashy. It's leaving a little bit of those kind of elements.
Right, a little burnt smoke flavor.
Yeah.
I see that.
And it's still lingering on the palate. This was really good.
Really good.
This is really, really good. When it comes to scoring, but when it comes to scoring scotches, it's a no-brainer. I kind of know right away how I want to score it. With bourbons, I don't have as much experience, so I have a feeling that when I revisit these bourbons later on, when I try a bunch more, the scores might change. But for me, this is a 91 out of 100, which is excellent, excellent, excellent bourbon and treat.
From like 10 minutes ago, I thought the same thing before I even finished it, 91.
91.
And it didn't change after the second
That's
sip.
exactly what I said right away. On the nose in the beginning, I was just kind of like maybe 91, 92, but overall, I'm set on 91 with this.
Exactly.
All right, you guys, we're going to try to do a better job at releasing videos more often. We slacked a little bit, so we're going to crush a bunch of reviews today. Our palate should be fine. These are, when we do these, they're 1 ounce, so we're splitting them, which ends up being half an ounce. So let's say we do 8 of them, it'll be a total of 4 ounces. That's about pushing it for the palate, but we'll still be able to not be drunk and sober enough to give you guys good tasting notes. Whenever we get to the point where that kind of is not happening, and then we stop. We don't do any more reviews, we just chill and have fun. But we're gonna have an all-nighter with some fun little puppies here. We'll see you guys soon. Cheers.